Hello, this is Sasha Montag. Welcome back to Aisha's Corner for our latest podcast. In this podcast, we will be interviewing two special guests from different political parties of the 1800s era of the United States. Introducing the Federalist Party member first.
Hello, my name is Joseph, and today I'll be representing the Federalist Party for this podcast.
Now we are introducing the Democratic Republican Party member.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaxson representing the Democratic Republican Party.
Everyone, please settle down. We will begin our questions shortly. What do you believe should be the proper balance of power between the federal government and the states?
Giving the federal government too much power seems tyrannical, due to the fact the purpose of the revolting against Britain was to escape from tyranny. Following the Constitution, it grants the federal government a certain amount of powers and no more. This nation should be moving along with the Constitution. We believe that by following the Constitution, this grants the states and the people powers not explicitly given to the federal government.
From our past experiences under the Articles of Confederation, when the states were given too much power, these states acted independently and we as a whole nation were not unified, causing the peace and unity to nearly collapse. For example, in Shays' Rebellion, the farmers in Massachusetts revolted against deaths and taxes. The central government could not stop them.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. From what I heard, the Democratic Republican Party has a strict interpretation of the Constitution, while the Federalists would not mind if there were some loopholes around the Constitution. Marbury versus Madison established judicial review, which strengthened the Supreme Court. Do you guys see this as important or unnecessary?
Chief Justice Marshall strengthened the judicial branch with judicial review, which is essential to preserving the Constitution. If Congress were to pass laws without constitutional limits, how would we prevent tyranny? The central government having authority to deem laws unconstitutional creates a stable set of boundaries. For instance, let's say Congress were to pass a law that violated the Constitution. Our judicial branch would be there to put an end to it. Marshall's plan of judicial review does not make the court in favor of Federalists. It is essential for maintaining order and keeps the balance in the court that allows judiciary to check other branches.
With all due respects to the Constitution, we are deeply concerned about granting such power to unelected judges, with this excessive power to the court. Marshall's plan of judicial review places authority in the hands of the judicial branch packed with Federalists. We believe it is a scheme for Federalists to maintain their influence after such a loss in the presidency. The true power of liberty shall lie in the hands of the people and elected officials, not an overly powerful federal government.
So it seems like the Democratic Republican Party are not in favor of Marshall's plan and believes this is a big scandal to put more Federalist involvement into the government. However, the Federalists believe this is an effort to stabilize the courts. Now we shall discuss about the economic issues. Should the federal government have the power to establish a national bank and impose protective tariffs?
The idea of a national bank concentrates financial powers in the hands of wealthy elites and merchants focused on the north. This holds back the idea of an agrarian economy as farmers operate on loans and debt and state-issued money. This idea of a national bank promotes hard currency, stronger credit systems, and debt repayment discipline. These are all circumstances that would favor the rich. As for the tariffs, farming and agriculture rely on exporting crops such as tobacco and cotton. High tariffs hurt foreign trade and raise prices on goods the farmers need, causing restrictions on trade.
A national bank system stabilizes the nation's currency by managing debt and strengthening credit. Without a proper financial structure, the economy would not survive. Us Federalists firmly believe in the development of a national bank, as the Constitution grants Congress implied powers under the necessary and proper cause. A national bank is the embodiment of carrying our responsibilities. The national bank does not favor, it secures prosperity for the entire nation. Protective tariffs are also effective to encourage American manufacturing and reduce dependence on foreign nations, as we, the people, should have economic independence, as this is the step towards political independence.
It seems like both parties have different ideas on the economic states of the nation, as the Democratic Republicans strive towards an agrarian economy, while the Federalists lean towards an industrialized economy. Okay, so was the Louisiana Purchase a necessary expansion that strengthened the United States, or did this exceed constitutional limits?
Us Federalists are concerned about the political consequences of this expansion, as many impose the question whether the Constitution grants the President authority to acquire such a massive amount of land from a foreign territory. Although we are cautious, we can acknowledge the control of the Mississippi and the port of New Orleans, which is strategically valuable. The New Orleans port, especially due to its access to major trade routes. The control of the Mississippi River also means securing Western trade, and farmers can ship down goods without relying on foreign nations.
For this question, the Democratic Republicans shall not make a statement, as they also agree too. It seems like both parties have an agreement, as they both are concerned about going against the Constitution and gaining land from a foreign power. However, both see the benefits of the Louisiana expansion through access to the Mississippi River and New Orleans port. Although the Democratic Republicans shall not make a statement, they also think this expansion is vital for agrarian economy. And now the Embargo Act. Did this protect American sovereignty and neutrality, or did this weaken the nation?
I personally think that the Embargo Act was necessary, as it was a measure to defend American sovereignty without resorting to another war. Britain and France had violated our neutral rights by oppression of American sailors, and this is an insult to our independence. Rather than fight, we choose the peaceful route by suspending trade, showing that the nation would not submit to foreign aggression.
Well, I see the Embargo Act as something that punished the nation and not strengthened it. By halting American trade, we now deal with the consequences of our actions. Rather than impacting foreign powers, our merchants are suffering from the halt of maritime trade. The Embargo Act weakened our economy and reduced our national revenue.
Thank you so much for your time, both Joseph and Jaxson, as this discussion makes it clear how the early political parties were not united in their visions for America's future. The Federalists, led by Hamilton, argue for a strong central government with national bank, protective tariffs, and judicial power, while our Republicans, the Democratic Republicans, led by Thomas Jefferson, believed in state rights and a more strict interpretation of our Constitution. And until next time, thank you for listening to Aisha's Corner.